So welcome to another episode of ER Extra on Metro Television Socials. I'm here to give you all the highlights, a recap of every story in case you missed on our socials or even some entertainment trending news that you might have skipped. I'm here to give you all the details. Now, coming up, there's Perez Music in the news. Gloria Sappho was ranting here and there. I wouldn't say she was ranting. I mean, she was venting her anger. Let me correct myself. She was venting her anger on something that happened at the AMAA. Now, Guru is also in the news. John Dumelo is in the news because, as you all know, we are getting towards election day. Today actually marks exactly 30 days to the election. Ghana decides. Yes, we'll talk about that. And also, Americans have already decided. And then Elon Musk had something to tell Cardi B. That and many more will be coming up on ER Extra. My name again is Anaya Tanwa. Watch it. Let's start with gospel. So Frank Tego, popularly known as Perez Music, is trying to debunk what most of us always say, that the gospel space lack unity. But then Perez Music begs to differ. Let's hear what he has to say.
I've raised concerns about some sorts of lack of unity within the gospel music fraternity. Do you say that is a lack of unity, or do you say that is something wrong?
If they say that, then they've not really read their Bible.
Hey!
Because even the apostles, even after they are done with Jesus Christ, they didn't come together to start a church or start a ministry together. Everybody went their way. When Paul came, Paul didn't start a ministry with Peter. Everybody went their way. So I don't think it's division. I think it's diversion. Right? There are two different things. It's diversion because we are all meant to reach different audiences at different times and at different places. So there's a diverse, there's diversity. So that's why you may think that there's division. There's not division. For me, that's how I see it. I think it's diverse. And if we are able to respect each other in that manner, I mean, we are good.
Okay, so according to Perez, it's not a division, it's just a diversion. And I think I agree with him, because in recent times, if you check, and when I say in recent times, I could say 2 years now, the gospel space has been so united, especially when they wanted Pacey Esther to win the Artist of the Year. We saw even the likes of Tego Sisters, Daughters of Glorious Jesus, everybody coming together to say that that particular year was their year for them to actually win that award. And like Perez said, it's like everyone has taken a different path, and all in all, they merge at a certain boundary or juncture or at a verge, let me say that. So according to Perez, it's not a division, rather it's a diversion. But then there's unity in the gospel space. Let's move from that and move into the movies. Now, Gloria Sappho, a very beautiful and lovely lady. If you see her one-on-one, I mean, she speaks very well. She's very, very pleasant, and she's just accommodative. Now, Gloria is someone who is very, very, very outspoken. If things don't go well, she voices out. She will say it as it is. And that is what happened during the AMAA, and that is the African Movie Academy Awards that happened over the weekend. That is last weekend. Some things happened. Now, certain actors, actresses were given tickets to actually come to Nigeria, and all expense paid trip. An all expense paid trip. I'm human, please. But let me take my time. And all I'll shoot the boy at the back. So Nekrakrakane said the trip was paid. Everything was paid for. But then they got to the airport and a whole lot of things happened. Let's listen to Gloria Sappho.
You can't tell me that you are inviting me with an all expense paid trip. Invitation, and then I end up stranded at the airport.
What?
It doesn't work that way. Like I said, I had a lot of things to do. I missed the movie sets, a feature film by a colleague. I missed a short film. I missed an awards night that I was nominated.
That's so sad.
I missed going for my movie premiere.
Yeah.
The embarrassment, Nana Frema.
Was so much.
The embarrassment.
So much.
We stood at the airport for hours, and everyone. We were just so lucky
that. How do they do that to our celebrities?
we went with media people, all right, but you know they were also found in that state. So I don't know if any of them, was able to capture anything, but it was embarrassing.
Embarrassing. That's the word. It was
embarrassing. Why would they do that? Abdul Salam Yakubu. Mumuni. Abdul Salam. Julia Pia. Just name them. A whole lot. Akofa Jenny. I mean, just name them. Name them. Our big filmmakers. We were stranded at the airport.
So bad.
And I bet you bag ase.
Oh.
Na ye di ko ye fie.
Too bad.
And we had to even let those who were on their way, go back home because don't come and face this embarrassment. Please go home. Hey, it's moving a lot of way pan. Yeah, this hard you say one more.
The whole of Africa will hear about what Ghanaians have done. That's very true. That's like a serious point.
And Nigeria, but producer the obi free Nigeria, but near baby said bia or the bemano.
They give them.
Bibia o baby said bia. Me di ni pam pem ba on bema or the naba. Me di me make up. Me di me say ba or bema naba. But who Ghana ni won't me for P and corset. Won't me say won't me yama be bra ube request wunya banipa no bano yebe man complete satisfaction.
Yeah.
Any sikasem nyina.
That's very disheartening. I mean, celebrities do not have to go through that. And like she rightfully said, if it was the other way around, I don't think the Ghanaian organizers will allow the Nigerians to go through what they went through. And funny enough, I was checking Jackie Appiah's Snapchat and also Instagram. She also mentioned in one of her vlogs that when they got to the airport, they had some issues. It was just a bad day. She didn't really go into details, but connecting what Gloria said and what Jackie also posted, it seems there's a connection because Jackie got to the airport and had to go back home and they had to sort things out before she got back and then arrived at Nigeria successfully. And then on the night, she bagged an award. So I agree with Gloria. Our celebrities shouldn't go through that, and it's very, very, very bad. But why would Nigerians demand for certain things and then they get, but we demand and we don't get? Anyways, let's move away from that and move to one of the guys that has trended this year. Is none other than NKZ Guru. Now, Guru is saying something that has been on the minds of so many people in recent times. DNA. He's advising the men, but why the men? Okay. Advising the men to do a paternity test. Why is he saying that? Let's take a listen.
The Brazil have a problem with the men when we DNA. It's impossible so.
Hey, that's also. Oh, reaction lo. Supremo. Oh, reaction lo. Hey, that's also.
What's your crime in 5 years?
Twas already.
You are building love in born in a way.
A woman say, "O say who baby Gina." Na wo ya de a wo enye se atade e she color we so ni color cro yeah wo she wu yansa na wo she idu be bu ba na ke wani ehu na wu ze red and ke be over
atade minim se me green am di fifie ba
na medru ha na ni se wo be show bi ba
yes
ye nyina ye hwe
ye fa bi free orphanage ye koya donation ni adoye
ye say ye nyina ye hwe nkrofo ma se bio me twe 200 cedis e de ma obi o gina kwan ho enye obi ba me na se me hwe. But we are doing that not because of Sebia, you need the idea sikabe, but on the purpose of serving humanity.
Okay.
Nipa, baby, I meso me baby wa obi hwe no.
So what makes this different?
Inti menos obi hwe ma de ave. Na me o ma 1,000 crown me hwe o me me do cause make us a means to me DNA. Not necessarily say me who bloodline, but sometimes to be self-conscious, no. To be aware, self-actualization is very important. You need to understand where you stand.
Okay, so Guru had a lot to say. The Kakrani said he's encouraging men of today to take a DNA test. Question is, why would you want to take a DNA test? I mean, if you have a partner and you guys have kids, but then, anyway, I won't go into that. A lot has been happening. My species nowadays can't be trusted. And I'm a what? It can't be trusted. You see, you are there with this guy and then anyways, let's move away from that and move into music. You're looking at our top 10 Ghanaian hit songs on our countdown charts. Last week I gave you some songs. I hope you enjoyed it. This week, let's count from 10 to 1 on our Ghanaian mainstream. Now, coming in at number 10 is Yesu by B-Strap KOTM, and coming through at number 9 is Jesus Christ 2 from the man himself who has been making waves in recent times, Ara the J, and it features none other than Blacko. Now at number 8 is Holy Ghost by Kweku Smoke, and number 7, let's go to the church, Deve by Team Eternity, yes. And moving in at number 6 is NLF Remix by Camido and All Stars. And those All Stars, I know there's Kim Paluta, there's Medical, there's Erica Joe, a whole lot of people are there now. And number 5 is Asabone from Dope Nation. And number 4 is Makoma from the man himself, Kim Paluta. And number 3, why am I not surprised at number 3? You did do me lomo, hey, the thing no be no more. You don't want to lomo, What's it day? Was it big you up in the bar? Ring it up, what is on your mind? Okay, let's go to number 2. Number 2 is Stone Boy with JJJ. And number 2 and number 1, drum roll, is none other than Famille Chale, and it is very soon. So these are the top 10 countdown hits Ghanaian songs that you need to listen. So, moving away from countdown Ghanaian hit songs, let's move to Boomplay that has been doing something amazing. When it comes to music, they strive to give us nothing but the best, and they've brought us something new. Boomplay has introduced the Hausa speaking experience for people who understand the Hausa language. Now, Boomplay, which is Africa's premium music streaming service with a larger audience of young people, has introduced the Hausa version of its platform with the aim of expanding its reach and enhancing user experience for Hausa-speaking audience across the continent. Now, the expansion is part of Boomplay's strategy and commitment to provide inclusive and accessibility of music experience to diverse segments of music lovers whilst promoting their local content. Now, commenting on the introduction of the Hausa platform, Ibrahim O. Kadira, who is the general manager of Boomplay Nigeria, stated that launching the Hausa version of Boomplay is well in line with their goals to expand to new and broader demographic and connect more music lovers to the content preferences they love. Now, the language holds a sentimental and cultural value to people, and so by making their platform available in Hausa, they know that they are not only in Hausa. We are not only acknowledging the linguistic diversity of our audience, but also ensuring that our service is relevant and accessible to everyone. Isn't that a good news? That's definitely some good news there. Boomplay doing wonders for their users. Okay. Okay, so let's move away from Boomplay and talk about John Dumelo. Now, John Dumelo has been doing some philanthropic works in his constituency, and we all know that John is vying for the Ayawaso West seat, and so he's been doing some amazing works on the University of Ghana campus. Let's take a look.
How are you? Nice one. Welcome back. Okay, how many
places? But I also West comes to Jolu. And I'm from East they go na Bajolu. Hey.
How many can you take?
What? No, I think they were coming back on campus. Say omo call strike and I think omo back. Hey. Before the Lord, He will lift you up. 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 Uncle, humble yourself before the Lord. He will lift you up. 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 Hey, my producers are saying that, John, you are doing too much. I'm not the one saying it to my producers. Now let's go to my favorite female rapper. It's Hey Lil, you can if you wanted to. This is expensive, this is red bottoms, this is bloody shoes. Hit the store, I can't get them, but I wanted to. And I'm quick, I said don't get comfortable. Look, I don't dance now, I make money move. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm talking about Cardi B. And we all know that during the American elections, most of the celebrities, the A-listers, talk about Beyonce, talk about Kelly Rowland, talk about who, name it, Taylor Swift. Most of these celebrities endorsed Kamala Harris. Yes, because they are Democrats. Yeah, Democrats. It's Democrat, right? Democrats, yes. I said. There is Republicans and Democrats. I got that one, I said it, yeah. So, one of the people who also rallied behind Kamala Harris was Cardi B. Now, during one of the rallies, she was there to actually proclaim her support for Kamala. Now, whilst she was reading, I think there was a problem with her teleprompter, so she had to pause and then had to wait for her to get her phone and then read. Now, you could see there were some pauses here and there. And then the owner of X, formerly Twitter, decided to tweet something. Now, whatever he tweeted, Cardi B came to respond. And that is what we are highlighting. Elon Musk tweeted, another puppet who can't even talk without being fed the words. The Kamala campaign has no authenticity or true empathy. Now, Cardi B comes to respond, and she says, I'm not a puppet, Elon. I'm a daughter of 2 immigrant parents that had to work their off to pay for me. I'm a product of welfare. I'm a product of Section 8. I'm a product of poverty. I'm a product of what happens when the system is set up against you. But you don't know nothing about that. You don't know not one thing about the American struggle. P.S. Fix my algorithm. Now, that is what Cardi B had to say. Okay, so now Cardi B has taken her time to actually explain to us what actually happened on the day with regards to the teleprompter.
I work so hard, bro. I work so hard on my speech. And a lot of y'all talking about like, oh, why are you reading it from a phone? Bitch, I had to write that shit down because I had to make, bitch, I'm 32 years old, bitch. And I have 3 kids. My mind be fucking raising all goddamn day, bitch. Like, it's like sometimes, bitch, I be arguing on my shower like fucking rehearsing what I'm gonna tell niggas when I see them. And you know what? I forget what I be telling them. I'm like, damn, I was in the fucking shower for 30 minutes. I was gonna say to this motherfucker, but you know what? Then when I be in face to face, I be forgetting. So you know, when it comes to this shit right here, I been knew what I've been wanting to say, but I had to make sure I ain't forget. So I wrote that shit the fuck down. Y'all gonna hear what the fuck I had to say, and I'm proud of myself. I work so hard, bro. I work so hard on my speech. And a lot of y'all talking about like, oh, why you reading it from a phone? Bitch, I had to write that shit down because I had to make, bitch, I'm 32 years old, bitch. And I have 3 kids. My mind be fucking raising all goddamn day, bitch. Like, it's like sometimes, bitch, I be arguing on my shower, like fucking rehearsing what I'm gonna tell niggas when I see them. And you know what? I forget what I be telling them. I'm like, damn, I was in the fucking shower for 30 minutes. I was gonna say to this motherfucker, but you know what? Then when I be in face to face, I be forgetting. So, you know, when it comes to this shit right here, I been knew what I've been wanting to say, but I had to make sure I ain't forget. So I wrote that shit the fuck down. Y'all gonna hear what the fuck I had to say. And I'm proud of myself.
The long and short of it is that she couldn't memorize it. She had to write it down. Yes, she wrote it down. And so what? It's normal. Now let's move on to our last story, and it has to do with King Promise. King Promise has been doing amazing in 2024. Let me emphasize that. I mean, he's been touring around and he's been booked. Even, I don't remember the last time I saw him in Ghana. I seen going on maybe interviews or something like that. But if you check his socials, he's been busy, he's been booked. And then King Promise has been doing amazing, and he had a conversation with Larry Madowo, who is the host of CNN's African Voices Changemakers and Playmakers series. And King was sharing the fact that he was interested in football, but then he ended up doing music, and also spoke about Afrobeat, and also spoke about staying true to himself as an artist.
As an artist, you make the music, but when the people sing it back, nothing beats that. Just like we have hip-hop, R&B, that stood the test of time.
Was it your first time performing in Detroit?
Yeah, man. First time in the city.
The crowd seemed to love it.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy your performance?
I don't know, it was a good one. Every time I get on stage, you know, the whole thing is to have a very good time, and that's what happened yesterday.
Performing here in Detroit is part of your world tour. You're going all over Europe, Tokyo, Australia.
Yeah.
You're booked and busy.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, isn't it? The funny thing is, none of my parents ever made music. They just had, they've always had great passion for music. So how I picked up on music was because my dad usually played music a lot at home. He had a boutique where usually after school I'll go sit and watch. You know, I'll be the caretaker and I'll handle the music. And I was playing what he played, you know, listening to what he listened to, and eventually it influenced, you know, my taste in music till I became a man of my own and chose my taste in music. You know what I mean? So that kind of shaped my idea as to what quality music sounds like, because it was a variety of genres. You know what I mean? Like from reggae to dancehall to R&B to hip life to high life, which is Ghanaian music.
Do you remember when you fell in love with music? When you first fell in love with music?
I'd be lying if I say I did, but I've always loved music. It's always been a thing. Even before I became an artist, because I never thought I was going to be an artist. I was just going to school, you know. I wanted to even be a footballer at a point. But eventually, I ended up in the school choir something randomly. And that's even when I realized, oh, I can sing. You know, it was so random. That they told me I could sing, and then I was like, oh yeah, it's popping. Everyone's going crazy when I sing, but I just started going to the studio. It was just a passion, you know, and then eventually the passion kept growing. In uni, the passion for music was much more than anything. So I was just going to school making music, and then I blew up, and it's this is the path, you know, God has chosen for me.
So that was King Promise on CNN's African Voices Changemakers and Playmakers series, where he was having an interaction with the host, Larry Madowo. It's a very interesting conversation, talking about representing the motherland, talking about Afrobeat, and also staying true to himself as an artist. Hopefully, let me not jinx it, but I was going to say hopefully next year, but we wish King Promise nothing but the best. This is where we draw the curtains on today's show. I love this episode. I hope you also love it. Big shout outs to you. No matter where you watch the show, I really, really appreciate it. I see the numbers coming through. Tell a friend that Metro TV ER Extra is always on Saturday on our socials. Big shout outs to the production crew. They are so lovely. Next time you meet them, maybe hopefully you'll meet them. Today's producer has been awesome. My name is Anaya Tanobuache. I'll see you when I see you. Stay safe and always be good. Peace out.